Hi everyone, my name is Tessa Hulls. I am an artist, writer, adventurer who had a graphic novel called Feeding Ghosts come out about 6 months ago. I was fortunate to grow up kind of before helicopter parenting had become ubiquitous, and so I grew up next to National Seashore, and there were endless trails through the hills that I could take, and it would just be like, okay, go outside and play, come back when it's dark. And so for me, climbing trees, looking for snakes, poking things with sticks, catching alligator lizards, I was a feral tomboy, and I'm so grateful for that being my foundation, because I think it really made me comfortable with being alone. It made me love silence. It made me crave solitude, and all of those things are really at the bedrock of how I work. And I feel really grateful for the fact that my childhood made me somebody who is at home within my own mind without any external stimulus, because I think that's a really hard thing to learn if you have to come at it later in life. And it was one of the greatest gifts of my childhood. So the way that I accidentally became a feminist historian talking about female explorers in the 1890s, that wasn't something that I did on purpose, but it really did come out of traveling and having people tell me that women can't do all of these things, and me essentially fact-checking that and basically going down this rabbit hole of research to prove that statement wrong. I'm really interested in frontiers and the way that rules, both physically and sociologically, change when you get to environments that are just really off the beaten path. And I've always been somebody who is curious to just know what is over the next horizon, what is at the top of that tree, what can you see if you go there. And so for me, my travel and my creative practice are just completely inextricably linked. I can't separate them. And I think for me, being in motion is when I really figure out what I'm working on and what I'm trying to say. So these travel seasons and going to these remote places is what really makes me the artist that I am. I'm somebody who likes to go all in on projects, and I think my sweet spot is 3 to 9 months, where I love the point of a project where you don't know what you're doing and you're just casting a wide net. Usually for me, there's some sort of research element involved, and that to me is the most exciting, because like everything is just, it's a new landscape to explore. Feeding Ghosts to me was something that I really did from a sense of duty. I think it's the story I spent my whole life running from, and my family ghosts told me in no uncertain terms that the reason that I had been born with all of these American privileges and these talents was because I needed to do something with them, and that something was to try and finish the story that my grandmother started. So what you can expect from the book is kind of this transformation of me going from being this American cowboy, really determined to assert my freedom, to being much more what my mother always wanted me to be, which was somebody who understood the importance of showing up for family. And really, I found my way back to a connection to my mom and my grandma that I think I've been looking for and just didn't know how to find. Well, I think the job of an artist and a writer is to question the structures of the society that they live in, right? It's your job to, at least a little bit, bite the hand that feeds you. And this process of going feral, as I kind of like tongue-in-cheek put it that way, but also it really, I found myself outside of the rules of society in a way that I think I never quite came back from. And it really made me think about the ways that our perspective is based on where we're standing. And if you become somebody who doesn't really belong in any one particular place, but instead finds home in motion, I think it created this sense of always being an observer and never really a full participant, which is on the one hand a lonely way to go through the world, but also incredibly rich and rewarding. And so I think that process of going feral after that 5,000-mile bike ride is why I come at any story or project that I'm doing with a truly blank notebook, because I think I'm always coming from that perspective of being an outsider. And without those allegiances of feeling like I belong to any particular camp, I think I'm able to really lean into the nuance and complexity of the subjects that I try to tackle. I have what I call my field seasons, and then I have my making seasons. And right now I am definitely in a field season, so I have no bandwidth to actually make anything right now. But in early November, my schedule becomes clear, and I am really looking forward to putting on a sweater and drinking too much coffee and actually being able to do that sort of slow, deep focus that creative work demands. I want people to feel empowered to pursue their own paths and to make in any way they want to make, feel able to face the stories that maybe they don't feel capable of. I really just want people to feel like any path that you choose to take is yours and that you should do it.